Like I said a couple of times, we have a record out there called Picture Portrait, and that's really only the first half of our record. We have a second half coming out in the fall, and it'll all sort of be compiled on a double LP vinyl. And then it'll be available all the other places music is available now, like iTunes and Spotify and all of that jazz. But the song we're going to play now is on the second half of this record, and without trying to make it sound too convoluted, this record is sort of divided into two parts. The record we have out here now is sort of my grandpa's story as I see it and try my best to translate, his letters and his thoughts and feelings. And the second half is kind of like things that I've sort of breathed into the story and I just think about and consider. And this tune is it's called Honeyland. I haven't much to write, and it's about being like powerless over your own sort of destiny. And oftentimes when my grandpa was writing, he wasn't super explicit about feeling this, but you could tell that there's a chance you could die the next day, or you could be home in 3 years, or you just really had no idea. And I think in a lot of ways, like many of us take for granted like the simple things we have control over in our lives, and every once in a while I think it's important to realize that and consider it and be thankful for it. Yeah, enough preaching. Here's a tune called Honey Lamb. I haven't much to write, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm yelling with your belly full and your heart in that open air. Love like a lover's shame. Dream of me. Again, it's just such a pleasure to be here. This is such a great space, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate that you're here. Thank you. This is our last tune of the evening. This one is called A Family Tree, and this is on one of the very first recordings We Are The Willows ever released. And it's a bit of a sing-along, and I know it can be uncomfortable to sing along, but I'm going to ask it of you. And if you don't do it, that's totally fine. Or if I look out and you just move your mouth. I think people say you're supposed to mouth the words watermelon to make it look like you're singing, so you can just do that, it's fine. But it's a very simple chorus, and I think you'll pick it up in a heartbeat. But this tune is about my grandmother and my great-grandmother. when my great-grandmother moved to the United States from Sweden, she got knocked up by a lumberjack in Minnesota. And shortly after that, she moved back to Sweden and married a guy named Ole Holmström, who then found out she was pregnant and got the marriage annulled. And my great-grandmother moved back to Minnesota, found the lumberjack, but then he had switched careers and he was then a used car dealer. And so she moved in with a used car dealer, had my grandmother, and that's like my grandma was raised there up in Minnesota, and with those two, my great-grandmother and the used car dealer. And so, when she was in her late teens, she was digging through their attic at home, and she found her birth certificate, and under the birth father, it said the name Ole Holmström, which was the man in Sweden. And my grandmother had no idea who this was, and so she approached my great-grandma and said, who is Ole Holmström? And her mom wouldn't say a word about it, and it was this family secret for years and years and years and years, for whatever reason. And finally, through like asking different relatives, she sort of pieced together this story. And I think families are just so complicated, and I think we can all like relate to that in some way. And there's something just terrible about that, but also like something really kind of beautiful. And there's like a lot of opportunities for I guess coming together with people and like reconciling. And sometimes you just can't reconcile. You gotta get away from those crazy people. Anyways, I think all that to say, I think family is really important to whatever way you identify.